Dive 761 on the Shinkoku Maru in Truk Lagoon, Micronesia. This was a weeks-long liveaboard on the Truk Odyssey, and this was the third and final dive we did on the Shinkoku Maru. We did this dive at dusk as the sun was starting to set. Started off at the stern of the ship, descended down on the mast here. Got a couple small damselfish there swimming around. And some more damselfish inside the mast itself. Continuing down over some of the collapsed metal along the deck. There's a school of large silverfish there, but they were too far away to identify fully. Continuing down towards the back of the wreck. Here we found an open hatch and we just head into it in a minute. Inside what looks to be a spare turbine blade there for the propeller, as well as some barrels discarded around the bottom, but there wasn't very much of interest, so we popped back out the hatch and continued on to the stern deck telegraph. And here we have the stern gun. The gun itself is very heavily encrusted, so difficult to make out. Here we have the telegraph from an error angle. On the right is the speaking tube. Getting a bit closer there, you can see some of the mechanisms. And there is a small clam inside the speaking tube. There we have what I think is a red snapper in the distance. Then we started heading back towards the front of the ship, up and over this ladder here, again very heavily encrusted. And some of the hard coral growth on the deck of the wreck. Here we have a snapper again. This one made several appearances throughout the dive. Hiding way into the wreck there. Here we have some of the structure midships, again heavily encrusted with soft coral. And that snapper making a third appearance. On the deck in a second you'll see a collection of artifacts that have been placed there for easy viewing. A lantern, some bottles, I think some parts of some toilets. Some more of the coral growth on the wreck here. You can see it's starting to get darker as the sun is starting to set. Here we are at the collapsed bridge, which we also visited on the previous dive. Just going off screen there is another of the ship's telegrams. We've got 3 of them all lined up in a row for communicating with the various bits of the ship. Swimming past the second one there. And there is the compass binnacle, which will keep the compass free from interference. Continuing towards the bow. And looking up one of the masts. You can see all the coral growth and the silhouette of our boat above it. There we have a camouflage grouper, and just about making an appearance is a Sailfin Tang. Then right at the front of the wreck we have the bow gun. On the left of the screen you can see the aim and telescope there, but it's all quite heavily encrusted. So swimming along the bow gun here. Another shot of the telescope there. Passing over the chain locker for the anchor, we got right to the front of the wreck, and here we can see the port lantern with red glass in it, which our dive guide has left his torch in to light up.